Hello, everybody. I'm Jay. He's Maddie. We're here with a special guest today. This is the Yankee and the Brit MMA Underground with East Coast Street Beefs heavyweight champ, Big Smile.
Woo, woo, woo.
All right, Big Smile. Thank you so much for coming on. We appreciate it. I know that you guys had some street beefs going on this weekend on the East Coast. Street Beefs is blowing up fast. It's really an exciting time for you guys. What are you looking forward to the most? Your rematch with Shinigami or something else moving forward? Because I know you love grappling.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to the rematch with Shinigami. There's no date set yet, so definitely looking forward to that. But just looking forward to getting back in the cage at all, doing another MMA match. Showing everybody what I've been working on, and just putting on a show for everybody like always.
Very nice. I know as a big MMA fan that a draw sucks for you fighters, but for me as somebody who wants to watch you two fight again, I was like, okay, let's do this again. And then when Scarface said that he was going to send you out to the West Coast, I thought, well, that's pretty awesome especially for us Street Beast fans that we'll get to watch a second fight between you guys. And like me and you were talking before we started recording, Street Beefs is getting a lot more play than it used to. So people beyond us hardcore fans are starting to hear about it. That's got to be exciting for you fighters.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting. I've been getting so many messages lately of, just people supporting me, saying they like my message. I've helped them through some mental health type things, and that's just huge. Like, I love to fight, and if there was no cameras on me, I'd still be fighting. But it's a huge plus to know that I can benefit anybody out there, and that, people appreciate what they're seeing.
I'm sure Maddie's got some questions, so I'll throw it to him in a second. But I did want to say that, first of all, you seem way too nice of a guy to punch people in the face.
That's exactly what I was thinking the whole time.
Second, though, watching your fights, it really touched me. So I want to tell you that I thought it was huge and it was awesome for your Black Lives Matter shout out.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that a little bit. I'm not the biggest MMA fan, but I've started watching Street Beefs largely due to seeing it on Pat McAfee and then Jay just bigging it up to me the whole time. And I was watching your fights today, and when you said Black Lives Matter, I was like, I'm so excited to have this guy on the show now. So big ups for that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it, you guys. It's just something very close to my heart. Where I live, it's a very mixed community. And, even not on the news, I've seen a lot of racism in my life. And it's just not something you want to see. And I think it can die with my generation, at least be minimized as much as possible. So I'll always try and preach that as much as I can.
That's just awesome. Maddie, you got anything you want to ask him right away?
Yeah, I was just kind of thinking on the whole, like, I've already said this, not a big MMA guy, but I love watching people punch each other in the head. Like, who doesn't like watching that? But Jay has you guys down as a draw. When we were talking to Shinigami, he had your fight down as a draw. But I was watching it again today, and I was like, oh, I feel like Big Smile hit him in the head a lot more than Shinigami hit Big Smile in the head. And I was kind of wondering how you felt about that draw. Did you think it was a fair decision, or do you think it's just because they want to get you out to the West Coast?
So, being a fighter, I think I won. If you watch the fight, the first round ends 15 seconds early. So yeah, I think I won by TKO in the first round. But at the same time, the tie kind of makes it so I win myself a vacation. So I can be okay with that. I'm excited to go to the West Coast and prove that I finished the fight. I'm going to go over there, finish the fight, and, leave no questions unanswered.
Yeah, you set me up with lobs here, man, just to knock straight out of the park, because that was going straight on to my next question. So you saw the first round. If you watch the fight again, guys, you see Big Smile going up, jumping on the cage, going absolutely crazy, and thinking he's won by TKO in the first round. How did you kind of feel? How did you?
And I think we lost Maddie. He'll be back, but I know where he was going with this, so I'll help finish the question. Like, how did you feel? And is it hard to get back into fight mode after you just thought you lost the fight? I mean, that you won the fight. I'm sorry, that you won the fight, and now you got to go back in and try to refocus and fight again.
Yeah, it's extremely difficult. Finishing an MMA match is one of the biggest rushes I've ever felt in my life. And it's one of the reasons I keep getting back in there is to chase that rush. And when I felt I had beat Shinigami, it was one of the best moments of my life. It was such a huge adrenaline dump, such a huge celebration that I literally dumped everything I had. There was nothing left in me. So when they told me it was just round time, firstly, I was very confused, but then I was also very tired. I was exhausted from just that release. It was a huge release. It was incredible. And, you know, it makes things interesting. Now things will play out differently. It also gives me a lot of confidence because in those last 2 rounds, I was just on autopilot mode. You know, I wasn't thinking like I normally do. I wasn't finishing my takedowns like I normally do. I wasn't striking at all. So the fact that I could still hang in there, even on autopilot mode, gives me a lot of confidence for the next match.
It does make a lot of sense because your takedowns did look a lot different from the first round to the second round. So it not that I'm saying you were in your head, but it almost now after the fact and hearing you talk about it, it makes a lot more sense going into the second and third round. I do have to say, though, I watched you slam Boxing Boy so hard into a fence. And I don't know if you rewatch your own fights, but you slammed him so hard a lady's cell phone flew in to the ring.
Yeah, and a cell phone hit him in the nose.
Okay, that ref had to pick it up and give it back to the lady. I was like, that cage was rocked so hard. It just showed the force you put him into it. That cell phone came flying in. I was like, that's just perfect. You can't show how hard you slam somebody better than that.
Yeah, and that cell phone was doing the live stream. So the live stream of the fight, you can go back and watch it, and it hits his face, and then they pick it back up. But the first time I drove Shinny into the fence, we actually broke the cage. We broke the cage door.
I saw that too.
Anymore.
Yeah, they're trying to hold the cage door shut. I was like, yeah, this is good. I was waiting for the way the cage just shakes sometimes. You're waiting for the whole wall to come down when you big heavyweights go slamming into that thing. It's like 2 Mack trucks. Oh, Maddie's back with us. It's like 2 Mack trucks slamming into a cage. And what's great about Street Beefs is it's not the regular octagon. I mean, what's better for somebody who enjoys fighting than watching 2 dudes fighting hay bales or what looks like chicken wire and the wall of fame right there. I mean, that's where the gritty part of Street Beefs that I think that's that. I hate to sound like it in this day and age, but that's that old caveman, like watching people fight feeling because it's outdoors. It's not an arena. It's not Hollywood. You know what I mean? You guys are just out there because you're tough guys who love to compete. I just love the whole setup of it. And what do you think about the expansion? I like it. Now you have the West Coast and you guys have that newest chapter of Street Beef Scrapyard.
Oh, I love it. It's it's a great opportunity for me to get more competition out of Street Beefs. You know, there's some tough guys in those other yards, and it's an opportunity to face them. And it's a cool, different look. Like the Scrapyard has a little bit more finished, a little bit more professional look. And, the OG yard's still pretty raw. And then the West Coast, it's almost different every time, but they got their own look. I like it. I think it's great for everybody. And they have one coming to the UK as well.
Did you hear that, Maddie?
Yeah, maybe I'll get in a bit of a scrap,
Hey.
Bit of a fight. I definitely couldn't take a punch to the head. As soon as somebody hits me in the head, I'd be straight down. Too many concussions while playing rugby for my liking. Don't think it's my kind of thing. You're an all-round fighter, Big Smile. So you like the grappling, MMA, and the boxing as well, right? So what would you say is like, how does the crossover work between the 3 of them? Like, are you able to kind of cross over between them all easily, or is it all MMA?
I took my first boxing match this weekend. You know, it didn't go too well. It was my first loss. But at the same time, I still feel pretty well-rounded, especially in the MMA arena. You know, I'm able to use my strikes more. Just, you know, pure boxing is a very different thing. And I learned that, and I'll try it again one day. But for now, you know, I'll keep working on my striking, get back into MMA again soon. Grappling is definitely my strength, but my striking is improving very fast.
Yeah, so your kind of technique. Oh, sorry, Jay.
No, go ahead, Maddie. Sorry.
So your kind of technique is to like get hold of people. Honestly, this is MMA 101 for those people who are just watching this, who are not normal MMA fans. But it's just your kind of tactic is to grab people, get them to the floor, and then use your weight to kind of hold them down and then belt them while they're on the floor. Right? That's how you kind of like to win a fight. That's what I've seen and picked up. That's my scout report.
Pretty typically.
Ground and pound.
Yeah.
Very similar to, you know, a Khabib-esque style. You know what I'm going to do, but it's hard to stop.
Yeah.
And I'm in your face, pressuring you and taking you down, wearing you out, punching you.
And that's what Shinigami kind of found on the first round. Like he kind of got taken straight to the deck, and then it was because he's more of a striker, right? Like it's more of a, like he wants to hit you with that kick kind of early on, but you just took that out of the equation, took his leg, got him to the floor, and then just started hammering him on the ground, which I just thought was a really cool way to kind of like win a fight. You know, I kind of like that idea of just sitting on top of somebody and beating the shit out of them on the floor.
Oh, well, I appreciate that. A lot of the recent matches on Street Beefs have gotten deleted, so I think you guys might not have been able to see a few of mine, but I've definitely done that to quite a few people now. I do have a standing guillotine I pulled off as well, but yeah, mostly a grappling offensive. And when we were able to knee to the head, I did a lot of knees to the head too. That's probably one of my favorite moves.
Have they taken that out? You're not allowed to knee to the head anymore.
Yeah, it's recently became illegal at Street Beefs.
All right, okay. You can see why. Like that probably does cause quite a lot of brain damage for quite a few people. But yeah you know.
Move, but
I have it in my notes somewhere.
Sanction bouts coming up. I'll be taking some sanction bouts soon.
Oh, nice.
We'll be doing some knees to the head.
I have it in my notes about the choke, the standing guillotine, but I can't find who you were fighting.
So I was fighting Dazed God.
Yes. Okay, so let me find it. Yeah, because I put right here, you owned him and he tapped fast on his feet. But I was going to tell you with the boxing, I watched Boxing Boy hit you with some shots and you didn't even fucking flinch. You just kept moving forward. So I think you adapting to boxing will be fine. You seem to have a chin, and you've proven that you hit like a Mack truck. So I'm sure once you refine your boxing a little bit more, you'll be fine in there because you got the two things, especially for a heavyweight, a hand of steel and a jaw of steel.
Well, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I think I will do a lot better. When I got rocked in my boxing match, the hardest part for me was my instincts were to grapple once I got hit. So I got to work on, you know, my instincts when I'm in a boxing match of, you know, how to answer with strong punches and stuff like that. But, you know, it's not a loss, it's a lesson, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely a great way to look at it. And I also have to say, so when you were fighting Tall, Dark, and Handsome, even though you destroyed him and owned him from the start of the fight, you hit him with one of the most vicious elbows in the ribs in the second round before the stoppage that I thought my ribs broke.
Yeah, even myself, when I watch it, I go, like it really digs in between both of it, like in between his ribs. It was a nasty shot for sure.
So as for the sanction fights, do you know when and where you'll be doing those, or is that something you're still in the works with?
So I don't know exactly when. My sensei was letting me know there's something in April. I'm probably going to try and take the Shinny match first if I get a date soon. But if I don't get a date on that soon, I'll be taking some sanction matches pretty soon because, like, you know, we're all getting older here. And in order to go pro, you need a few sanctioned matches. So I can still take Street Beefs matches, but I need to start mixing those in just so I can keep climbing the ladder.
No, you and Shinigami feel pretty much the same way. That's what he was telling us, is that if he would have beat you, he was going to try to just straight go with some pro fights afterwards. Now he's trying to schedule the rematch and schedule some other fights because at some point, like you, he's got goals of going beyond Street Beef. And it's not that you guys don't love it, but the money's not at Street Beef. You're not out there like people who watch these know. You're not out there getting paid, and you're lucky if you pick up some sponsors to help you along the way. So you got to do what's best for your career moving forward.
Absolutely. And, you know, especially with somebody like Shinigami, so many people enjoy watching him. You know, he should get paid to do that. And I feel like I'm getting into the same boat as well. A lot of people enjoy watching me fight. So why not make a little bit of money off of it?
And I absolutely love Shinigami and am excited to see where he goes. But off the bat, I think your transition to a pro career might be a little easier just on the fact, not to take away from his skill set, but I think ground and pound will help you in grappling, getting used to the higher levels of MMA right away, because you watch guys come into smaller promotions or even a guy who goes from Bellator to the UFC. It's such a change that it seems like the wrestlers and grapplers adapt and can survive a little quicker to get their feet.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge factor is the grappling will help a lot. You know, I'm a little bit younger than him. That'll help a lot too. And I'm also already on weight. He still has to lose a little bit more weight, which he's doing a great job with to make the heavyweight limit of 265. I don't think it should be too much of a problem for him, but I'm just kind of I'm in position if I ever get the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch to where you go. And before I throw it back to Maddie, I just want to let everybody know, if you don't think this man can grapple, go watch their grappling at Street Beefs. He won the tourney. They run their grappling tournament. So.
I love the grappling matches, man. They're so cool. Like, I didn't realize that was a thing, like just the grappling. But I really enjoyed that. You and Shinigami are such nice guys.
He's a great dude. There's actually another one of my grappling matches coming out. I had a grappling match on Saturday with Fair Play. It was the first ever Street Beefs gi grappling match. So we both had our gis on. So you don't know what that is. You know, it's a typical karate uniform, but it's a grappling match where you can grab the clothes too.
They went all
so that was fun. What's that?
I said you guys went all Hoist Gracie.
Exactly. That's exactly what it was. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you and Shinigami are both so nice, man. There's it feels like there's a lot of respect there between the two of you.
Oh, no doubt. I have a lot of respect for his skills. And, you know, it was also nice chatting it up with him after a match. We had a good time. He's a nice dude. He said he's going to get me In-N-Out Burger after our next fight. So
yeah, he told us exactly the same thing. Yeah. And yeah, are you looking forward to your trip to the West Coast? Like, you guys seem like quite good mates. Like, is he going to show you some of the sites? I run a website and a podcast called the Travel Story Society, so I like to hear about people's plans for their holidays and trips and stuff. So what sites are you planning to see on the West Coast when you're there?
Okay, I haven't planned too much yet. Hopefully I can stay for a few days after the fight, because I think that's more likely when he'll be willing to show me around. I don't think he wants to show me around too much before we fight, which I understand. So hopefully I can stick around for a few days, you know, eat some cheeseburgers and see the sights. It would be great.
Yeah, I'm jealous of the free flight to the West Coast.
So just so I got this straight now, when you choked out Days God, that was for the belt, correct?
So that was my first title defense. So it was for the belt I already had.
Okay, and then who did you beat for the championship?
So after I beat Ryu Senin, which was not a title match, after I beat him, I was 3-0 with all TKOs. So they awarded me the belt since no one had it at the moment.
Yeah, because I was on YouTube trying to like piece, it's kind of hard to try to sometimes to figure out which fights go in a row. Because I think I was watching some fights, watching them back, and they're like, he's 3-0 in Satan's backyard, and then the next fight, it's like he's 0-0 in Satan's backyard. I'm like, wow, you're watching them backwards. But I also have to say, as much as I like Street Beefs, there's something that bothered me, and I wanted to ask how you felt about it. What do you think about when they had him vote on who won the fight?
It's a little weird. I think they should find judges that don't have any bias, but at the same time, I understand that we're just here to fight, and it's just experience for everybody, and nobody's getting paid. But yeah, it'd be nice to just have 3 people that aren't biased and let them decide.
Well, this is just a shameless plug for a legend and Street Beefs, but maybe they should get Little Evil Jens Pulver, who's a huge supporter of Street Beefs, and a couple of retired MMA guys to judge your fights. And with technology nowadays, they don't even have to be sitting there. You get them a good camera view, they can judge people right from the internet.
Yep, that's very true. And actually, I think Jens Pulver is on some sort of judging committee, but they only send it to him if somebody has like a complaint.
Oh, okay.
It was the wrong decision.
So he's kind of like the mediator if there is a problem with the decision.
Be watching it live, right? Because there is a live stream.
Okay, you cut out for a second. You were saying that all we caught was he'll watch it live. So if you could tell us what you said again.
Oh, I was just saying it would be good if he could watch it live and then they judged it right then. Right. That way was always the correct decision instead of people, because if someone goes and they get their match overturned, it's still going to say they lost in the video. Their record is just going to reflect their win.
That makes a lot of sense. I think it's awesome that Little Evil is like a supporter. Jens Pulver, I'm a guy who at 14 years old walked into a video store and saw the first UFC sitting on VHS and rented that thing and been a fan ever since. So anybody who doesn't know who Jens Pulver is, first lightweight champ in UFC history. He beat a legend in BJ Penn. If you watched him on The Ultimate Fighter, his personality is freaking electric. His Twitch stream is electric. So he's a great guy to have backing Street Beefs. And I think it's awesome that people with his platform are there trying to help you guys move forward. And just his name alone puts some legitimacy on Street Beefs.
Very true. Very true. Great guy. I look up to him as well. He's accomplished so much. And it's cool how involved in the sport he still is.
Yeah, I absolutely love him. I absolutely had a blast with my wife rewatching your fights this weekend too. I am so excited to watch your and Shinigami's rematch, but beyond that, I'm really excited to watch where you guys are going forward. And I know you said even when you move on from Street Beefs that you'll still be part of it and you'll still maybe pick up some matches here and there. Is there anything in the works where maybe they do something where all 3 chapters get together and just have one big show, or do you not know anything like that at this point?
I haven't heard anything, but I think eventually that'll definitely happen. The OG art is definitely still the deepest, just way more people compete there. But I think over the next couple years, I don't see why that doesn't happen. It already happened a little bit between me and Shinny. And, after our match, there was Animal from the Scrapyard. He was saying he wants the winner of that match. So I think it's a pretty cool thing. Hopefully, eventually they can maybe have a belt for the champ of all the champs.
That would be awesome, like a little Grand Prix. And Scarface, if you ever listen, we need a Midwest chapter because I'm in Wisconsin and we need some of this in my area.
Jay wants to fight. Jay has beefs with so many people, and Jay has beefs with so many people in Green Bay that he just wants to take them all on. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm going to fight other podcasters except for Rogan because he'll break my neck. But
So Big Smile, you're such good friends with Shinny. You fought a lot of people, but for me, that's the standout fight. You're both so well matched. But do you have a bit of a chip on your shoulder, do you think, with the fact he's such a viral star? He's almost the face of Street Beefs. He's been on Pat McAfee and stuff like that. Do you reckon you've got a bit of chip on your shoulder, want that to be you?
Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I would love to take some of his momentum, some of his juice. I wouldn't say I necessarily have a chip or I'm jealous. I'm happy for him, but I definitely want it for myself as well.
Man, maybe you should wear the gi in all of your fights, like headband. Like that's where it is. Like you've got to come in with a massive costume. I love the smiling gum shield. Like that's a great thing. I'm gonna have to find out where you got that. Where you got that for when I play rugby, so I can just smile at people while playing rugby. It's a great little invention you've got there. But so he's kind of like the big star of it, and you kind of feel like you want to take a bit of his thunder. Do you think beating him is the way to take his viral stardom straight out of the blocks?
I think it's my best bet. I think he'll still be a viral star. No matter what I do to him, it doesn't take away that head kick he did to Detail. So, it is what it is. He's always going to be a popular figure. No matter how bad I beat him, he's still going to go around wearing that gi and that headband, and he's going to look good doing it. So there's nothing wrong with it. He's got his red.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's got, I could come up in a blue gi, my blue gi I have, with a headband, but that's his thing, and I have my own thing, so it's all good.
Yeah, his personality, his size with his athletic ability really helped. Like when you watch him kick Detail, you're like, that's a big dude kicking somebody's dude's head clean off his shoulders. But when it comes to your ground and pound, man, the way you pick people up and slam them, and I'm sure you're working on your Brazilian jiu-jitsu and everything else. The fact that you're boxing now in Street Beefs with your first match, I think all you're doing is making yourself even more all-around fighter and getting me more excited to watch the rematch between you two, because I think as much as you want the win because you're all fighters, I think Shinigami feels the same way you did. Like, I could have won that fight, but I didn't because either I made this mistake or I did that. And the confidence level you two have going in there, being the two nicest alphas I've ever met, that might actually, that's what's going to make this fight great, is that I, talking to both of you, really believe that both of you feel like you're going to win this next one, which you should, but it makes me excited, and the electricity for that fight is going to be awesome.
Hey, well, I'm glad it's exciting to you. It's exciting to me as well. I want to prove that I finished the fight in the first round. I want to go out there and I want to finish in the first round again. And I don't see why I can't.
So where are you training right now? You want to give them a shout out, let everybody know where you're training?
Sure. I train over at Kaizen MMA. Shout out Sensei Nima. He's really taken me in, really helped me grow a lot as a fighter. He gave me a job in the morning so that I'm able to make my team practice every day. It's been huge, and I'm only going up from here.
Well, I'm really excited to see where you go from here. That is super exciting. And because you're a humble dude, I'm going to put you on the spot. Let people know where they can get your merchandise, because I'm telling you, they're going to want Big Smile merchandise just as much as the Shinigami merchandise. And I feel go make your money, man. So let us know where they can get your merch.
So on Etsy, if you search Big Smile MMA, all one word, my store will come up. And, I've got shirts, hoodies, face masks, whatever you guys need. I got it.
Very cool, because I was going to ask you how you got the name Big Smile, but after talking to you, I do not even think I need to ask, unless it's just because you're smiling all the time.
That's a big piece of it. I'm always grinning, always smiling. But who gave me the nickname is my first MMA coach, Bill Eastlick. And what he used to say is, he'll beat your ass, but he'll be the nicest person to ever do it. Big Smile.
There you go. All right, Maddie, you got anything else before we quit taking up all of his time, because he's fought this weekend, and I'm sure like the rest of us, he's got real shit going on in life, and he gave up enough time to us.
No, I just want to say a big thank you to you, man. Really nice guy. That's what makes you and Shinigami fighting so interesting, because you're both so nice. So it's like, oh, you can't like hate one or the other. So you just want to see a good fight, and once they step out of the ring, they're going to be good mates. And it's like a rugby player, you can really appreciate that. So thank you so much for being on the show. Big smile.
Big smile. I don't know if you're a wrestling guy at all, like pro wrestling, but the term heel for the bad guy, you should go all Nate Diaz and go heel and be like, Shinigami, you stole everything I worked for, motherfucker. You should do one of those things. Great character.
I like it. I might have to put that face on for just a little bit. I think I can do it. I think I can act well enough.
I don't think people who know you, I think, would be completely shocked. But I'm looking forward to what you have coming up moving forward. We'd love to get you on the show again sometime. And I just thank you again for the Black Lives Matter shout out, the fact that you show that you're socially conscious of what's going on and that you give a shit, and more people like you out there do that, the farther the cause will move and the better off it'll be for everybody.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for having me on. It was a blast. It was great getting to know both of you. And yeah, I'm excited to come back on anytime. All smiles, all peace.
Oh, that was an epic.
That was good.
An epic ending. And everybody out there, he is your East Coast Street Beefs heavyweight champ. The West Coast chapter is getting ready to have a rematch at some point. They'll get you a date with their champ, Shinigami. And don't forget, MMA fans, check out Street Beefs Scrapyard. It's the newest chapter. I believe it became part of them in July. They have an event coming up this Saturday. I'm going to get you guys more information this week on their event coming up on Saturday. But you guys, tell a friend to tell a friend about Street Beefs, because if you enjoy watching people fight, they're as tough as nails, men. Some of them women are bad as fuck. And everybody out there is a straight warrior with heart. So thank you guys. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Google, Apple, blah, blah, blah. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. One world, one love. Deuces.
Cheerio.
Thank you, guys.